All right, everybody, it's Monday morning. We got a concrete truck coming. We're gonna pour some concrete. I'm gonna pour all this here like I've explained in the earlier videos. If you haven't watched my channel and you're new to it, this is a dog kennel expansion. Renovation maybe is a better word should I say. We're gonna pour concrete along those screed boards, all the way to the outside corner, all the way over to that outside screed board. I'm using these old dog kennels as my rebar. Looks like help is arriving, and I've also got my wife gonna help screed off some concrete today and finish it. So wish us luck. We're pouring 6.5 yards of concrete today. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, this morning's pour did not go exactly as planned. The concrete truck driver did not want to pull down into my yard because he thought it was too wet, and he also didn't want to come up in that gap. So we were able to get him pulled in here. You can actually see where he stopped. He started getting uncomfortable there as well, even though it's solid ground and solid rock. He didn't want to knock those blocks over. So we got this poured and screeded off pretty good. But as you can tell from this corner here, we started screeding that fan around that corner, And what ended up happening was we had to take the tractor, put the concrete in the bucket. But what that created was some waste. We did waste some concrete. And actually, with all that movement, we weren't able to get a bull float on this side here. Again, this is a dog kennel, so I'm not that concerned about it. And later on, if I was to expand my shed, it's not that big of a deal. But one of these days, I might come in here with a grinder and wet this down and surface grind it just a little bit to get rid of that. It doesn't look horrible, but doesn't look great. So this was a little bit of concrete we had left in the truck. So here's the other thing. My math and the concrete company's math obviously was a little bit short. We've got 5.5 feet by 14 feet to go. So I've got to pop off this screed board, move it out here, and we're going to do a second pour here at 3:30. So we got a little bit of prep work to do, but we're basically ready. Just moving that one board, and then we're going to pour this short section. So we will have a seam right here due to pouring a pad against a pad. It's not that big of a deal. Again, it's a dog kennel, and on top of that, if I expand my shed, it's going to keep the concrete from cracking. We've still got part of the dog kennel, the old dog kennel, as the rebar support. So I think it's going to pour great. We're going to finish it up here shortly. Stay tuned for more progress. We're making it happen. All right, everybody, we finally got it poured. We did have to get 2 more yards of concrete. You can see here, looks like it might be a little foggy on y'all from being in the house and the air conditioning come out in this humidity. That tells you how humid it is today. But this is the 2-yard pour that we did here. Poured in 2 sections. Not optimal, but it's going to come out just fine. This is for a dog kennel. We still had plenty of support in the bottom of this. We tried to make it look similar, but due to the fact that I had to run the edger down that edge there, I had to use my mag and take some of that off. We didn't bull float it. That texture isn't going to hurt anything. And we were able to get the kids' handprints and initials in the year 2020. So that right there makes me smile from ear to ear. Little handprint for little man, medium handprint for medium lady, a little bit bigger handprint for our big girl. So everything's coming together. We're gonna let this cure. I haven't decided, as I don't have all of the metal for the back side here, so I haven't decided if I'm gonna go ahead and put some metal on, attach the dog kennels to it, and then just overlap to get to the peak, because I'm pretty sure my the aluminum that I have that I would like to use for this backside isn't long enough to go all the way up. Or if we're just going to attach the dog kennels for now, let the dogs come in here, and after we build the roof system, which will be an extension off of this, and we're just going to put 4x4 posts out through here, similar to what most people do for a pole barn. The difference is we're going to use metal post shackles on top of the concrete instead of pouring them in the concrete. So stay tuned for further progress. Feeling pretty good with where we're at so far. We got some rain coming, so I got to get some things cleaned up and try to get some mowing done. All right, everybody, we're back on the kennel renovation. The short pour that we ended up with came out nice. Looks a little different than that one, but again, it's a dog kennel. We're going to reuse the metal that you saw me take off of the roof. You can see it down there and here. And we're going to put that on this side of the building here to cover it with metal. And it's not going to go all the way up. It'll get close, and what we'll do is we'll just overlap the second layer as you would on any metal building. So we're going to get to work on this. Stay tuned for the progress. All right, everybody, update on the kennel renovation. As you can, hi Raylan, we have good help today. Miss Raylan's helping. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 dogs, 1, 2, 3 kennels. Long term, we're going to extend that roof over top all the way to this corner here. This is the walkway to access the doors. The reason why I have this makeshift roof over this kennel over top of that young lady, and if she comes in heat, there's been some local dogs run amok, if you will, and they've been known to climb fences. Not that it's happened here, but it's possible. So we put this roof over her for now. This was going to be one of my stud dogs, but he ended up at 7.5 years old being sterile. So if you all watch my channel at all, you know Okie. He is 6 months old today, actually, July 1st. So the long-term goal is for Okie to be the stud dog for Molly, along with maybe another dog. So we're moving right along. We've got some screet boards to take off yet. Got to unscrew these screet boards and get them stacked back up, get it off of that edge, see what that outcome looks like. But right now, what we were doing is we had this pile of dirt, which was much larger before the last 30 minutes. And we had another pile of dirt over here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoop the rest of this up. I've got a spot back here in my supposed to be pond. But right now we're going to get a bucket load of dirt. We're going to carry it back there and we're going to put it in the washed out spot. You'll see that I've put a lot of dirt in there currently, trying to keep it from washing out again. And then the long-term goal is once there is water, I'm the optimist, once there is water in the lake, we'll then have a place to train the labs. The yard will be clean and we'll keep it from washing out. So here we go. That was a little shaky. Let's try a different spot. Alright everybody, so you can see that wet spot down there looks dry, dark colored, fresh, right? So this section here fell off is when we were backfilling it. We didn't quite get it as sloped as that, and you can see this little section here is kind of fell as well. It's not a problem. My road is still here, but this slide, I want to make sure my road stays the width that I have it. And packing this dirt on there, I'm going to leave it extra tall so it can settle. At least I think that's what's going to work. Most people that do ditches leave them humped up for a little while, right? Right, I think that's right. So we're going to leave that humped up for a little while, and you can see I'd like to get a little more dirt down there, but you saw my dirt pile wasn't quite large enough to fill that in, and I've got a little bit of backfilling to do there. But just in case you don't watch Dirt Perfect's channel, in which you should, it's awesome. He came out, Dirt Perfect came out, and he was looking where you can see the water's holding up there around them stumps, which is for fish. And all of those trees that I fell over into the supposed lake is for fish. You can see where it stays wet. That holds water, but it gets to about, now that it's filled in with all the sediment that is washed off of the levee, it gets about 8 inches deep, and then just on the inside edge of this ditch right here, there's a hole. And then right up there by that tall stump you see sticking out of the bank, there's a hole. And then up there by that great big rock on this side of that sycamore tree, there's a hole. So we've got some things to work on. We're hopeful that we can get this thing to hold water, as this is part of the long-term strategy, being able to have the different features. Again, if you watch my channel, you've seen me train Okie back here. You know that my plans are to train them in shallow water with some timber, and then also have some rock ledges. Long-term goals. I'm the optimist. This thing's gonna hold water one of these days. As always, if anybody has any comments how to fix that, and or comments as to how we should backfill this better, please send us your comments, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more progress on the kennel renovation.